Alright, so today I would like to show you how do you actually position, how do you actually deadlift effectively and also efficiently. I'll come to the point that whether or not you are conventional or sumo, right? It's the same. I'll touch up on how to do conventional properly and also do sumo properly in the near future. But the most important, commonly mistake and also miss out the part, the most important is the glute engagement. How to position your hip height at the optimum position and also allow you to feel the tension more on the slack there and also the more on the hamstring there. Because the center link of your body had to be on point, right? Your leg is keep pressing it down on the ground, no doubt, because unless you are floating, you're not floating, right? You're pressing it down on the ground. You're pulling out the slack because you're holding with the leg. But you not just use the arm to pull the slack, you must use the leg to push it as well, and use your butt to connect the dot here, butt and your lats. You cannot just pulling out the slack by pulling off the slack by yourself. So you want to use your legs to pulling out the slack as much as you can. Now from there, we have to determine how can you position your hip at the optimal position. Right? What is optimal position is like we need to understand your let's say you are a very tall person, right? A very short person. You need to understand how much load that your butt can take in. Right? Position yourself and you can keep your chin straight and also maintain the lats tension. From there, you keep your butt engaged, raised, and you stand. You don't want to position your butt too low, like sitting down like that. This is definitely sitting down. Right? Even though you're pulling off the slack already, your leg ready to drive, but your butt is relaxed. Right? Your butt is relaxed. You want your butt to engage. How to make sure it's well engaged? You have to, of course, before you come to the deadlift, you have to do your like for example, your sumo puller, you have to do the sumo glute hold to really feel your engage of the butt and keep your knee stable. That is the best way to go. Sumo glute hold at that position, keep your butt engaged, stack it down your core, always stack it down and control. Then when you come to conventional, right, the best way to go with is lying down, do a hip raises with the bend on the knees. Keep your knees out, do some hip raises and don't arch your back as you go. Make sure your butt is well engaged. Your butt cheek is literally partially engaged already. So you want to connect the ground, connect to the ground, connect to your core, right? Because, okay, this is your hip, this is your rib cage. Again, come to the point that how you brace, how do you stack your core. The more stack you can be, the better it is, right? So you want to position your hip when you go in as let's say you're beginners, or let's say you're seasonal lifter, but still can't really feel your butt where is the optimal position. The best way to go with it is to do RDL, right? RDL it down, RDL yourself down, right? Of course, you position yourself first, not too far away from the bar, not too close to the bar, just nice 2 finger only, right? From there, you just have to RDL yourself down. With RDL, again, think about heavy load out the hamstring and the butt there. Keep pushing, load the butt, engage your butt, stack, hip stack already, hip stack underneath your rib cage, right? Stack underneath your rib, keep your butt engaged and push it back. From there, you can literally feel you're pulling off the slack and ready. The butt is ready, just pull you back. Right? Engage, and you stand. Right? You just have to connect the dot. Make sure the back, because your back is automatically flat already, unless you're like sitting down. Then you cut like this, right? Way too low, and you want to pull the slack. Then the back start to curl, or maybe like this. Right? You want to make sure your ideal position, tension on the back, posterior change should be on point. Stack on the core, use your butt, engage, and you drive the ground to stand. From there, and you put it down. Okay, so make sure your butt is always point. Optimal position. You can try lowering down yourself. This is too loose, too high up. You feel like falling forward. Right? How do we know it's optimum? Is once again shoulder slightly forward than the barbell. Hip is literally point back. Hamstring is tense up already. Leg is tucking down. The core is well stacked. And that's optimal position. You got to try it out there. Even though we come to sumo deadlift, there's conventional just now. Conventional, you have to make sure your hip height is on point. So sumo deadlift, come to the point that people always talk about, okay, I want to be upright body. Right? They set up, right? Everything okay. Then you can drop your butt too low, arch your back, super upright. But again, when you touch, butt is soft, right? Then the knee will potentially cave in, right? When it comes to sumo deadlift, your butt is not engaged, right? Your knee will have a tendency to like cave in when you push the ground. So you want to keep it hip out, stable. You got to make sure your core is well stacked up, control, stack up, and you don't drop your butt too low as well or too high up like this. then we come a conventional way. So you just drop slightly lower than conventional, but optimally you can push the ground and stack your core. So ideally, once you set yourself right, when you go down, you don't just like this, right? You RDL yourself down, right? Keep your core stacked, RDL yourself down. Now you can feel your butt, hamstring, RDL it down until your hand is touching. This is probably the ideal hip position already, right? Again, check. Is your shoulder slightly forward? Yes. If your core stacked underneath your ribcage, yes. Butt engaged, yes. Feet push the ground, and all you need to do is from there, right? You just have to pull the slack and push off the ground and stand, right? No additional movement. When you push, you don't like in, then you see that, or shooting out too low, then your butt see that, then probably your butt is loose, not optimum pushing. You want to keep it down, stack it up, and no matter how wide is the stand or how narrow is the stand, you have to keep in control. Stack underneath your ribcage, hold it down, butt is engaged, hold the slack, and you just push the ground to stand on it. Okay, so feel the core stack right there. You can literally feel the hamstring and the butt works together. Then the part is the optimal, and you just stand. Same goes to this one, conventional, right? You don't want to too low. You want feel three things: core, butt, hamstring, slack. Four. Make it three: slack, core, hamstring, and the butt all connected. Then from there, you hold and you stand, push the ground. Then eventually your butt, your body will have optimal position, your hip at the optimum position to power through. That will be good. Okay, so if you do it right, you should feel 100% on the leg drive only. Not so much of the pulling. When it comes to deadlift, it's all about the pushing. 90% on the pushing. Pulling is just 10% from the initial part, pulling off the slack. Most of the time, you should be pushing. Okay, I hope you guys learned something, one or two for the deadlift, and keep it up.